Stock market and SoFi investors, welcome back to the channel. Anthony Noto just bought again, added a ton more shares. I'm going to get into just how many shares he bought, how much money he spent, and I also uncovered some huge buys from Vanguard in the Fintel website. It's crazy. There's a lot of people starting to buy the stock now that it's back under 16 bucks per share. Could this be a good thing moving forward? We'll have to see. And thank you guys who watched my last video where we uncovered some other crazy, shady stuff going on with analysts, the downgrading SoFi stock and then buying it. The video added us 300 new subscribers. Thank you guys so much. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Now, let's get right into it. SoFi was down that in the 1550 range today. And then the second half of the day, we covered some of the losses initially, where we were at like 1615 earlier. I did add some more shares today. But the big news here out of SoFi land, Anthony Noto, 5/8/2026, bought 15,000 more shares at 1573. There's the price. You times that out, it's 250K almost. Pretty solid purchase there from Anthony Noto. He's been doing some buying, guys. He's been doing some buying. All right, here it is. He bought on March 1st, 56,000 shares. He bought again on March 16th, 28,000 shares, and just added another 15,000 plus shares at a really cheap price. He bought in the 17s about a month and a half ago or whatever. And then he bought under 16 bucks per share, capitalizing on the bad sentiment for SoFi stock right now. Pretty crazy overall stuff here. But then I went on Fintel today, and whoa, baby, this was at 54% just 2 days ago. And it was at 10 million, I think it was on the video I just did 2 days ago. Now it's over 800 million. So what the hell happened here, guys? I went down and I'm like, okay, where are the big buys? Vanguard Portfolio Management opened up a new position in this part of Vanguard, 50 million shares. Holy shit balls. And then they bought again here. I don't know if this is another part of the branch or what. I don't know what the hell's going on. But 50 million there, that's 107 million shares. And this is another 600,000 in the Vanguard Investments Australia side. And then we saw some other institutional investors trim their positions a little bit here, and here. And Andra AP Fondon, I don't know what the hell that is. They increased their percentage by almost 700%. They bought a bunch of shares as well. So crazy stuff over the last couple of days here, guys. We could see the negatives means companies have trimmed their position. And then Jefferies, they added to their position as well here on 5/7. It looks like they trimmed their puts and their calls, and they just bought shares long. It looks like they added calls, trimmed the puts. They made money on the downside, so now they're going long on the stock. That could be a trend moving forward. SEB Asset Management opened up a new position, 246,000 shares. So over the last couple of days, guys, there's been some crazy buying, but these Vanguard positions are humongous. I don't know what the hell's going on with Vanguard. Let's go check out, because they already owned 111 million shares that are reflective in other filings, and it looks like they added another 107 million shares. This is the Vanguard Group, and this is the Vanguard Capital Management and the Vanguard Portfolio Management adding huge positions in SoFi. Huge. Huge. That's crazy, guys. 107 million shares. Holy shit balls. Crazy numbers, man. This is wild. Absolutely wild. All right, SoFi investors, if we take a look at this institutional ownership bar chart, just back earlier this month, a couple days ago, May 3rd, we were right around 698 million shares. And now we're at 834 million shares owned by institutions. This is a huge number, guys. Something we have to talk about with SoFi stock. Could we see a run up in the stock price in the near future? We will have to see. But Anthony Noto's buying. The other Vanguard groups are buying. We had a pretty good week here with our SoFi covered calls. This is all my SoFi covered calls you'll see here, guys, over the next several months. So we had none of them were in the money today. I had 116.50, six $17 calls, 12 17.50 calls, seven $18 calls. They all finished out of the money. So we'll just get to collect the cash for all those covered calls that we sold. And then next week I got three 17.50s and I got six $18 calls. And then I also have 10 18.50 calls for next week. So as you can see, I have tons of covered calls over the next couple of weeks, month or two. And then as we gear up for next earnings, I'll start to pump off the gas on these a little bit because the stock will pump up as we get a little bit closer to earnings. It seems like it does that every time, right? So here are all my covered calls staggered out over the next 6 to 12 months. My biggest position, I have 20 $30 calls January 1st of the next coming year. We are up 60% on those already. So I may start to trim this a little bit. What I'll do is I'll roll like five backwards, maybe to like October, the $25 calls, and then just kind of stagger that out a little bit just in case there is a big run. I do like to keep all these positions under 10 covered calls just in case it does go on a run, then I could roll them out a little bit. As you guys know, I'm a huge options trader, and we are at 6,440 shares of SoFi. The average cost in this account is around $18. It's actually way lower than that because I had to buy back covered calls that I had to sell. So when they got taken away, I just bought back the shares. And now I'm like rolling the shares more and taking it, you know, instead of buying back the shares and killing my cost basis, what I'm doing is just rolling them down the road. And then here's our portfolio performance, realized gains this year so far. We're up $54,000 in the big dog account so far. Not too bad, averaging around $10,000 per month in profits here on the channel. So if you guys want to check out what I'm doing each and every week, I'm going to figure out how I could take this channel and go live. And like on the days I'm not in the office, I can kind of go through what I'm doing, what I'm buying, what I'm selling, the positions I like, and all that kind of good stuff. So thanks, guys. I just want to give you some updated news on what's going on with SoFi stock. A lot of insider buying by Anthony Noto, 56,000, 28,000, and most recently another 15,000 shares. All good stuff here for SoFi long term. I know in the short term it sucks, guys. People that were buying in the high 20s are getting destroyed, and I can sympathize with that. It sucks. It's never fun, but think about the long term. And then if you bought at 28 and you could buy it at 15, get that average down. You got a little bit of extra cabbage, get that average down to 25. And then once you are at 25, then you add a little more, you get down to 24, 23. And then eventually, if you keep adding and adding, in the 15s, you can get it under $20, and that's a good spot to be long term for you guys. Again, thank you guys so much for watching that last video. It absolutely crushed it. We're going to continue to update you on what the hell's going on with SoFi stock and the general overall market. Thanks again for tuning in.